So welcome everybody to our call today. I appreciate your time and energy today to be with your fellow direct sales leaders. So glad that you were able to join us. And whether you've been in a leadership position for 10 years or 10 days, or whether you have a team of 2 or 200, this time has been put aside just for you. So I'm so glad that you popped in. I know that you're all getting ready to head into the summer months. I mean, here we are at the end of May. And I just wanted to share some strategies that you can use to support your team and to coach them to success this summer. Just because it's summer doesn't mean you or your team members no longer need a paycheck. Quite to the contrary, especially this summer. And just because it's summer doesn't mean that your customers and hostesses no longer have products that they need or want. A wise leader like you knows that you need to adjust your strategies to be effective during the summer months. And as always, a wise leader leads through influence. As John Maxwell has said many times over, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And the stronger your relationship is with your team members, the better your ability to lead them. And the summer months are an opportunity to strengthen your relationships, to strengthen those connections with your team members, and therefore increase your influence. When you have stronger relationships, you have stronger influence. And it'll always remain true, of course, that you can only control what you control. The actions that you take, the decisions that you make. You cannot control what other people do, the actions they take or don't take, the decisions they make or don't make. But you can, however, increase your influence with your team members through your relationship connection with them. So as we discuss these summer strategies today, I encourage you to keep those 2 principles in mind. First of all, as I mentioned, leadership is influence. And secondly, you can increase your influence through strengthening your relationships with your team members. So grab your notes. Again, you'll find them in the Facebook group, First Things First with Beth Jones Shaw. There's a link to those notes also at the very top of the scroll of in the chat space. I put that link. Hopefully it's still there. But for about the next 30 minutes or so, I want to share 7 strategies that you can use to coach your team through these sometimes tricky summer months. So let's get started. Number 1 strategy is to provide summer strategies. We all know that the summer months are more carefree, they're more fun, they're more casual. And we also have seen a resurgence lately of your customers wanting to gather together again, to get out from behind the computer screen. No doubt you've seen that with your own clients. And I've seen that and heard that from my clients as well. And there's just an increase in hostesses wanting to hold in-home parties. So as you're coaching your team members, you'll want to brainstorm summer party themes that their hostesses can have fun with. You might suggest party themes around a tropical theme or patriotic theme or a beach theme. Have you ever had a flip-flop party theme? Where your guests are encouraged to wear their favorite sandals or flip-flops, and then you have fun giving out silly awards for the cutest or the sparkliest or the sassiest or the most well-worn. We'll put it that way. You get the idea. It's just fun. It's something fun. And it gets the guests thinking about it before the party. And when you have a party theme like that where they participate, your attendance usually goes up. I personally have always had great success with a baseball theme. Everybody can wear their favorite baseball jersey or colors, and your hostess can do peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jacks or whatever, or even a vacation theme where people share where they're headed this summer, even if it's a staycation. It's fun just to have something that the guests think about in advance, and you will find they're more engaged beforehand and think more about the party, and therefore you'll usually have better attendance. Even if your hostesses are not themey people, because I know some of you are thinking, oh, my hostesses, a number of them really aren't into themes. You can keep it simple by suggesting even just let's take the party outdoors. If they've got a covered patio or poolside or something like that. I mean, we're all craving more outdoor time in the summer. And there's lots of opportunities in those summer months to get outside, to make the parties fun, even if the hostess doesn't think of herself as a themey person. So I'm kind of curious in the chat space, what are some of the summer theme parties you have done that you might suggest to your team members? Jot that down in the chat space. What are some of your summer theme parties that you might suggest? And check out each other's, because you can find some good ideas from everybody kind of sharing a bit. Oh, I love the ice cream social. Thank you, Janet, my buddy. I was going to mention, sometimes all your team members really need to have is just to kind of talk to their potential hostess about even a refreshment idea. It doesn't need to be a whole theme. I mean, some love that. Some love to get into a whole theme. But sometimes they just need a refreshment idea, like, as Janet said, an ice cream social. Or I, again, used to love to do the banana split party. Have you ever done a banana split party? Now, this is where you, again, on the invitations or in the text that the hostess sends out, she asks her guests to each bring a banana, and she does not tell them why. And the curiosity alone for what in the world are we doing with this banana is just so much fun. Again, the guests will be so curious, they'll come, and they'll bring that banana. Of course, the hostess takes the bananas and she puts out the toppings and we turn them into banana splits. But it's kind of fun for the guests to ask the hostess, now, what are we doing with the bananas? Well, no, I'm not going to tell you, got to come and find out. So even just a refreshment theme idea can help a hostess. Some of the hostesses have been waiting for summer to make their favorite summer cake or something like that. It's just a perfect idea, and a perfect reason to host is because they have that great recipe that they've been wanting to try anyway. So coach your team members to get excited about booking summer shows. And if they will share some party ideas or share some fun posts that suggest that, they can turn their excitement into potential bookings when they post that on their Facebook groups or social media, and they get the ball rolling, and they'll get some of those summer bookings because they're excited about just having fun. So as you take a look at your summer themes, I just love some of these ideas. You've not done the banana split party, but you might try that. Any kind of refreshment theme, any of these would be great ideas. All right, so our second strategy of our 7 strategies to keep your team members really focused this summer is set a summer goal. We all know you cannot hit a target you cannot see. If your team members are going to be successful this summer, they need to have a target. They need to have a goal that they're aiming for. So coach your team members to rally around a goal, one that they have, or even one as simple as a team goal, like each one does one. In other words, every team member holds at least one party a month in June and then July and August. Some of your team members will want a much bigger target, which is great. So you want to encourage those team members to go big. But, some of your team members are really, a little shy about setting goals for themselves, especially in the summer. So they may be more open to being a part of that team goal of each one reach one, where everyone turns in at least one party each month during the summer. This would create 100% monthly activity on your team, by the way. When everyone sells something each month, everyone wins. Remember that. When everyone sells something, everyone wins. Everyone earns a paycheck. Everyone has the opportunity to get future new bookings from the party that they did do. So this each one reach one or each one does one rally cry can then become a healthy habit beyond summer, all year long. But what a great way to start that in the summer. Each one does one. So coach your team to set their own summer goal, and even to consider the goal each one does one. All right. The third strategy of our 7 strategies to keep your team engaged this summer is encourage engagement. You may have some team members who haven't had new hostesses for a while. So you want to coach these team members to stay engaged in their business by attending events where they can get in front of new faces in their target market. For example, summer is the perfect time to participate in vendor events. And they're back now, after a 2-year hiatus in most areas. And so people are flocking to them once again. And this is where your team members can meet new people and book new parties. So coach your team members to do a Google search of local events being held this summer where they can sign up, they can participate, and there they will meet new people. And they'll have that opportunity to book new hostesses and most especially stay in front of their target market. New faces always help. Number 4 of our 7 strategies is encourage networking growth. Another activity that you can coach your team members to do in order to get in front of their target market is to join a group, a women's group. It could be a business women's networking group. It could be a garden club. It could be a book club or a Bible study group or a mom's group, or really any group where they can engage with others who have the same interest and are in their target market. So coach your team members that when they become sincerely interested, and by the way, that is the key in networking, to be sincerely interested in what other women are doing and seek to support them in those interests, then other women become interested in what they're doing. But it has to be sincere. As Zig Ziglar has said, when you help enough people get what they want, you eventually get what you want. So coach your team members this summer to get engaged by joining a new group, because these new friendships may be what will produce fruit in the fall. But as I mentioned, the key to effective networking is to teach your team members to be sincere about their network, be sincerely interested in what others do, and eventually others will become interested in what they do. If a team member goes into a networking group just to try to sell products, well, their thinking is thinking, and others will not want to be around them. So encourage your team members to look for a networking group this summer that they can sincerely support, and it'll get them in front of their target market. So I'm curious, what group do you belong to that gets you in front of your target market? Put that in the chat space. What type of group do you belong to that gets you out and in front of your target market? Anybody have any ideas on that? Any networking groups that you are part of, that you're interested in and can be sincerely interested in others? Janet, my friend, WBN Women's Business Network, she and I were part of that, or are part of that, I guess I should say. Janet is. So that's a great business women's networking group. Any others? Anybody else want to put something in the chat space, a networking group? This sounds like or seems like a great opportunity. Or you might be able to reach out this summer, find your own, and then see if you can't connect with your team. Professional moms, let's see. Hey, Susan, how you doing, WBN friend? Let's see, Shirley, Bible study. Yes, absolutely. And ministry in the marketplace. There you go. A book club, Jackie, thank you. Good job. All right. So, hey, there's some ideas, guys. It's a great time this summer to help your team members to think, do some homework, do some investigation, look at, and just go as a visitor a couple times to several different groups until you find the one that you can be very sincere about. It's not about going in and trying to be a pariah, ever. We want to be sincere about it. Okay. Number 5 of our 7 strategies, provide team connection. Of all the groups that you want your team members to be able to count on, it is each other. So coach your team members on the value of staying connected with their sister teammates through the summer for encouragement and support. Some of your team members tend to disappear in the summer, which can be super disappointing. You can't control that, but you can control your own outreach to your team. And I encourage you, as the team leader, to stay connected frequently through individual texts or group texts or private messages or your team Facebook group or emails or even in-person opportunities to gather together this summer. And also when you're on Facebook, comment on your team members' own social media posts so that you are a presence in the summer with them, especially for those who tend to disappear. And consider scheduling 30 minutes once a week in your own schedule when you will be very purposeful about reaching out and connecting with your team members, again, through text, through emails, through posts, so that you are consistent with that and that you stay connected this summer. So just curious, what is at least one way that you plan to stay connected to your team members this summer? Put that in the chat space, share that with your peers. How do you stay? At least one way that you plan to stay connected to your team members this summer. Who's got an idea? You can put that in the chat space. You know, I know many of you have group texts. You also have a group Facebook page, team Facebook page, which is great. Yeah, book club. Yeah, get your team into a book club, team meetings, consistent contact calls. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, if you just schedule once a week, 30 minutes specifically just for outreach to your team members. You may not be able to get to all of them if you have a big group, but keep this in mind. Just because you can't do for all doesn't mean you don't do for some. You know, you can always catch up with others next week. But do your best to put aside that 30 minutes. Group messages, I see. Thank you, Jessica. Team group, individually touching base, absolutely. All those are great and helpful, guys. So take a look at what your peers are doing, and you may get one idea that will spark that engagement. Number 6 of our 7 strategies to keep your team engaged this summer is attend your conference. The best connection point for your team members, and you know this, is at your national conference this summer. Some of you will be attending virtually and some of you in person. But either way, set a goal for team attendance for your national conference for your team. Set your goal for attendance. What percent of your team do you want to see at conference? Okay, I know we want 100%, I get that. But if you can get 100%, put your goal there. But let's make sure you're also setting a realistic goal. Would it be 50%, 70%, 80%? Make sure you set a goal. Ask your team members, ask them, what goal do they think the team can hit for conference attendance? You know, it's amazing when they're participating in the goal, they actually feel more sense of ownership in participating and actually fulfilling the goal. If your company is going virtual this summer, find ways that your team can get together to participate virtually, if that is possible. Then coach your team on the value of conference by having past attendees share on your team Facebook page or during a team meeting the specific ways that conference in the past has impacted their business. That will be so helpful for those who've never been to conference or haven't been in a while, because again, most groups haven't had an in-person conference in a while. Most have gone just virtually. Either way, you want to make sure your group attends. Coach your team members to think it's not about if they will attend conference, but how they will make adjustments to attend. Again, whether it's virtual or whether it's in person. And then, by the way, guys, put this on your calendar. Team leaders, listen up. Already plan a team meeting for after conference, so team members can share their excitement and their experiences about what they did experience when they were at conference or participated virtually, and that everybody can participate and plan next steps for the fall. So be sure you plan that follow-up meeting. So just curious, what percent goal would you like to set as far as attendance for your team at your national conference? Again, I still encourage you to get your team involved in setting that goal, but I'm just kind of curious and want to see what you're thinking right now. So you want to put your percentages in there in the chat space? Kind of tell me what your percentage goal might be. What would you like to see? 75%. All right, Diane, good job. Thank you. Anybody else kind of have a percent? Again, you'll want to talk to your team, of course, but it's just kind of good to see that. Lisa, at least 50%. Good for you. Good for you. Very good. That's just encouraging. That's really encouraging to see that happen. Okay. All right. Number 7 of our 7 strategies that you can use to connect, reach out, and lead your team to success this summer. Number 7 is coach them well. If you are like the leaders that I have been blessed to coach over the years, I know that you want success for your team members as much and sometimes even more than they do. And once you have given them a good start to their business with their initial training, the number one way to support their success throughout their career is with ongoing coaching. Coaching is the 87% difference maker. Studies have found that what we learn, we lose within 30 days if we don't reinforce it and apply it, do it. The studies have shown we actually lose 87% of what we've learned within 30 days. So coaching your team members to apply what they've learned can improve their performance by 87%. Do you need any more reason to make sure that you're coaching your team members? I mean, you won't have to keep teaching them the same thing over and over and over, because when you coach, they start doing what they have learned. They start seeing progress, and then they're motivated to do even more. The summer months, I know they're prone to drifting away for many of your team members. So suggest to your willing team members, and of course, that's always the key. You can only work with the willing. So with your willing team members, suggest that you meet one-on-one or even in a small group for a coaching conversation once or twice a month this summer, just once or twice a month, to encourage them to celebrate their progress. And keep in mind, you can only coach those who are willing. But if you have team members who don't want to regress this summer, who don't want to have to start all over again in the fall, who actually still want and need a paycheck, and who most importantly have customers who they want to serve, because after all, serving others is the business that we are all in, right? Then these are the team members you want to gather together once or twice a month, either one-on-one or in a small group this summer, for a simple coaching conversation. Now, if you're not sure how that conversation should go, if you've never really made it a habit to do coaching with your team members, I suggest 6 simple steps to a 30-minute coaching conversation. You'll see them listed there in your handout. Number 1 is awareness. You might start the conversation with asking, hey, so catch me up on where things are right now in your business. Where is she in her business right now? Because maybe it's been a month or it's been a couple of weeks since you last spoke. Number 2, reaffirm the goal. What is that goal that she's wanting to achieve? Number 3, what are the obstacles that are standing in her way? What's that roadblock right now? What's standing in her way? Or, hey, if there aren't any obstacles, that's fantastic. What are those successes that she has experienced? So number 3 is obstacles or successes. I like to do successes first, frankly, and then talk about obstacles. Number 4, support. In other words, what's working and then what's not working for her. So she's tried certain things. She's run into some obstacles perhaps. So what has worked for her and what hasn't worked? Get real specific on that. Number 5 step are the strategies. Okay, so what are the options that we can brainstorm? What are some new strategies, some new actions that she can take to move her closer to her goal? And then step 6, all right, so what action is she going to take this week? That's the basic framework for a very simple but impactful 6-point 30-minute coaching conversation. The process is called breakthrough coaching, and it's the process that I use with my coaching clients. I know that some of you on this call have, coached with me. And if you have, I'd love for you to put in the chat space that you've been one of my you are one of my coaching clients. That might encourage others. Maybe even share just a word or two about how you've benefited. Because I can assure you that if you have a goal, and if you know your team members have a goal that they want to accomplish, this is a really good process to go through and to make sure that you're experiencing. Make sure you have a good coaching process. Miss Janet, thank you. I know you're one of my sweet coaching clients. We're actually talking later today. It's very fresh. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. If you, by the way, are curious and you'd like to schedule a free intro coaching session, we can do that. Just email me, Beth@spiritofsuccess.com. I'm happy for us to schedule a free session just so you can get your toes wet with it and see what you think. And by the way, while prices on everything are skyrocketing these days, if you've been to the gas station or the grocery store, you know that, I am reducing prices. I'm offering a summer coaching special for personal coaching that's 55% off. So again, just email me, Beth@spiritofsuccess.com for those details. I'm also offering small group coaching. which again is at a discount. So if you're interested in getting a couple of your peers together and do a small group coaching this summer, email me, beth@spiritofsuccess.com, and again, enjoy a discount. Again, I'm keeping prices down because we're having to pay for so much more. I also know that many of you as leaders would like to see your teams enjoy the 87% improvement rate. And so sharpening your own coaching skills is essential. And so I'm offering a summer session of the Breakthrough Coaching course at a super summer discounted fee. It is a 10-session course. It's normally $1,500 per student because it is, again, intensive. Breakthrough Coaching, 10 sessions, $1,500 per student is normal fee. I'm offering it for the first 4 at $500. We would get together with our first 4 students, $500 each. If you're interested in being a part of this summer Breakthrough Coaching class, you put it in the post or just, again, email me, beth@spiritofsuccess.com. And once I have the first 4 students, the class will start. Again, it's a 10-session course. We'll work through the summer on coaching mastery, normally $1,500, but you'll pay only $500. So don't miss this. It's a great summer offer. All right, so today we shared 7 strategies to coach your team to success this summer. Number 1, provide summer strategies, those fun ideas that we talked about. Number 2, set summer goals. You cannot expect your team members to hit a target they can't see. Number 3, encourage engagement. Keep them in front of their target market. Number 4, encourage networking, that they get out into and join a group of like-minded people in their target market. Number 5, that you provide that team connection, and you even purposefully, intentionally schedule that into your schedule to reach out and connect. Number 6, attend conference. Be sure that you're encouraging. I know that you are, but really work with your past attendees to help provide those benefits, those opportunities to your current team members, that they know what conference is all about, so they attend. And coach them. Number 7, coach them well. That 87% improvement is no joke. So I shared with you also 2 ways that you personally can improve your coaching skills. So just real quick in the chat space, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being most valuable and 1 being not valuable at all, how valuable was today's session for you? My goal is always, when we come together, to add value, and I want to make sure that we're hitting on those 5s, but if not, I am wanting to know that so that I can improve. So how valuable was this for you? Because I'll take that into consideration as I'm planning future Spirit of Success University calls. So go ahead and put that in the chat space, and thank you for that. So, oh, thank you so much for that. Miss Norma, thanks. And Beth, thank you. But how valuable, if you have one thing that you can take away from this and use immediately to help encourage your team, then that's a good day. That was 30 minutes well spent. And lastly, if you're not already a part of the Spirit of Success with Beth Jones Shaw Facebook group, don't even know my name, just take a minute and join that now. Again, it's Spirit of Success with Beth Jones Shaw. It's a private Facebook group. Go ahead and join. I'll make sure that I check that just after the call, because that's where I share ideas and information on a daily basis that's tailored to bring you value. And that's where you get first notifications of classes like this one. I also invite you to join me on Monday mornings for our Bible study group. We meet on Monday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you are curious about what that is all about, I will happily send you details. Just email me, beth@spiritofsuccess.com. I'll stay on for a couple of minutes for some Q&A. If you have to jump off, thank you so much for being part of Spirit of Success University today. If it's been helpful, tell your peers. And I'll post this recording in that Facebook group that I mentioned so that you can listen to it again, or that you can share it with your peers. And if you think your company could benefit from training like this, I would treasure your referral. Just please let me know who I can reach out to at your company. I appreciate that. So I'll stay on, but if you have to jump off, guys, have a fabulous summer. Hope we can stay in touch over on our Spirit of Success with Beth Jones Shaw Facebook page this summer.